Well, hey everyone, Jimmy Nielsen down here at Remix in Claremont, and I just wanted to post a little video here just to give an update to all of you. It's probably one of the hardest videos I've ever had to do on behalf of Remix, um, but I want to get at least some information out there before, you know, not necessarily rumor mill, but just get out there in front and allow you guys to hear information and whatnot directly from us here at Remix as opposed to through other sources. So, um, last Friday, last Friday evening, March 31st, we received an email from our property manager via the owners of our building, the new owners. And the email simply read that after careful consideration, the owners are not going to offer us a renewal of our lease, meaning we have to, and it said we have to vacate the premises effective June 30th when our current lease expires. So, despite the fundraising efforts and activity that you guys have so graciously and abundantly and faithfully contributed to over the last few weeks, to the degree we've raised over $8,200. And then there's also some IOUs in the sense of people that have verbally committed to future contributions. Despite all of that, and despite communicating that to the owners, we're still being asked to that they are not offering us a renewal on our lease. So certainly, I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions. We at Remix have a lot of questions, and a lot of questions that unfortunately are just not going to get answered. And so we have to, just kind of roll with that in the sense of no amount of fighting or arguing or just, I don't want to get dragged in that. I don't want Remix and everything that we stand for here to get dragged into just a battle. That's certainly not something that we stand with here. And I think if you know me and you know Remix, we're about community, and it's unfortunate that decisions are made such that we will not be able to be here. And it's particularly hard for me because anyone that knows my story, I always joke with people, when I see that word on the wall, I see my story, just where I was and what faith and what God has done in my life to where I am now. And I've seen it happen in other people. We encourage people to live that remix life. And I've seen people get better, whether it be recovery or just different things, just people being lifted up and encouraged to a new place in life. And to have someone say, no, you got to take that all down, and you can't share that here anymore, is tough to swallow. And just some basic facts, to this day, I have never directly communicated with the owners of our building. They have, despite my effort in reaching out to them, they have not reciprocated that. They are not interested in discussing or talking to me directly. Those efforts I've attempted. All of my communication is funneled through this property manager of sorts. When asked kind of the why, I was told she had no additional information, that this is, she was just asked to communicate that decision. I know a lot of you guys, like I said, have been contributing to our fundraising for next year's lease. So that tells me that this isn't about money. It's not about the rent amount. So I don't really know what the driving force is here, kind of the why. And anything that I would throw out there would be purely speculative and not fact-based. So I'm not going to speculate. But given that decision that we will be have to vacate the the property by June 30th. The REMIX board has discussed this, and obviously we're in shock. There's a lot of emotion, the whole gamut, from angry to extremely saddened, a lot of tears shed. Because we look at the possibility of missed opportunity with people, like people that could have still have benefited from REMIX. But our hands are kind of forced in that way. So what we're have been discussing between now and June 30th, what we will most likely be doing is our last open night of operation will be Friday, May 12th. And that's exactly the halfway point between the time we found out on March 31st and June 30th, the midway point being May 12th. And if you know anything about the history of REMIX, May 12th is actually our anniversary, exactly on a Friday. So it will be exactly 6 years to the day that we open that we will have our last night of operation, Friday, May 12th. More details will come on what we're planning, what we will plan for that night. We want it to be a special night of just honoring the rich history of REMIX, what we've been able to accomplish, what you guys as a community have been able to accomplish, kind of walk down memory lane and just celebrate and reminisce over all the good that you guys have been a part of via REMIX. And we want you guys to be a part of that night. So more information to come for that event on May 12th. As I said, that's 6 weeks, more or less than 6 weeks away. And the remaining 6 weeks between May 12th and June 30th, we will start packing up REMIX. As hard as that's going to be, I can't even let my mind go there right now. There's the practicality of peeling this all back. But again, many of you know, me and myself and our team here, we're people of faith. We don't think things happen on accident. We don't believe in a coincidence. We believe everything's kind of spiritual and God's got reasons. And so we're not going to drag this out with some big fight over how dare they this and all that stuff. It will not bring any value to the reality of what we're being asked to do. So just continue over the next 6 weeks. Support us in the sense of just show up. If you haven't been here in a while, we'd love to see an old face come on in and maybe just drop a note either in the comments here, via messenger, email, face-to-face, what REMIX has meant to you. What has REMIX meant to you? A lot of you guys, looking at the donations and not even the monetary amounts, but just looking through the comments that some of you guys have shared about what REMIX has meant. We've shared a few of them on social media. Just so impactful. It really warms our heart to hear just some of the ways REMIX has impacted you that we hadn't thought of. And so just continue to share those. And I know that there will be or has been a local newspaper article that will be or has been published sharing more detail about kind of how we're at this place right now. I will say in this video, again, despite the frustration, the lack of understanding, everything in my flesh that just wants to really dig and counter and fight all of this because it doesn't make sense. We will not slander or speak negatively about the owners of the building. They have the freedom and the right to make such a decision. And therefore we will oblige by that. Certainly, again, we are frustrated. We don't agree. We want to be here. But with all that said, we're not gonna, go down this road of just slandering someone else. Again, in the article is the detail of kind of the chain of events, the communications, the dates, what was said back and forth. So you guys actually have the facts about what happened here. And you can see that very clearly. Remix, we've made every attempt to remain here, and not really sure why we're not being allowed to continue. Um, all that said, all that said, more to come about what's going to happen over the next few weeks. And just wanted to say thank you. Personally, want to say thank you to my rock star team. That served alongside me, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, just caught the vision 7 years ago when we first started planning the vision, the ideas for Remix, have been shoulder to shoulder with me in offering this to the community. From my brother Will, just the visionary with the whole coffee bar concept and just running with it and just having fun with it. And Ben Bush, just his craft and helping us with a lot of the building aspect and building things out, because we didn't hire contractors to do anything really here. We did it all on our own, and because we didn't have a lot of money. So Sonia, just a delight to be around, and just the sister I never had, in the sense that I just love her story. I love what she represents. She's the epitome of living that remix life, and just the transition and transformation we've seen in her life, where she was at, where she's come, and just high energy. And you can tell people at Remix just draw from that. She's like the recharged battery. You just like plug your battery into, and she just like, boom, gets you a boost. And just so grateful for that. We needed that here at Remix. Ed Bernard, just the calmness of him and the consistency and just how he carries himself. And even in the most challenging of moments, someone who would always bring a calmness and, a level head to anything and everything, and just serves so very diligently and has prayed so much over Remix and over this community behind closed doors. People wouldn't have a clue. You guys don't have a clue how much this guy has prayed for you and prayed for this community. And his wife, Christina, one of our key baristas here, who has served so very well over the last 6 years. And again, just brought such a fun atmosphere to Remix. And, that my sister-in-law, Julie, who's on our board, who's been just instrumental as well, and a part of the very fabric of Remix. And I mean, the list of volunteers goes on. I mean, there's a lot of people that serve here. Noah Vidum, again, on our board, and just has served so well over the years. There's a list. I mean, there's a lot of volunteers that don't volunteer now that have in the past, and then there's a bunch of new volunteers. But thank you. It doesn't happen with just one person. It doesn't happen with just two people. It took an army to really call forth the identity of a community. And I will remind you over and over, this didn't happen because I woke up and said I wanted to start a coffee bar. I did wake up. It started because God showed me a vision about a community, a community that no one saw much value in, and about a dream about a whale tearing up barren streets and just ripping it apart. And now I can look outside and I see a newly revitalized downtown area. We literally watched this dream come to fruition. And then, it's hard to, the dream came to fruition. Now it's time to exit stage left, get out of here. But maybe, that's why God had us here, was to pray and contend and speak forth what he sees as far as the potential of the community of Claremont. We are continuing, even though we may not be here, brick and mortar, Remix Coffee Bar, we continue to pray and lift up the community of Claremont, the residents, the local leadership, the law enforcement, the number of recovery programs, people in recovery, the tradespeople, you name it. Everything that is in Claremont, we stand alongside and lift you guys up in prayer. What you probably don't realize is a lot of us as volunteers don't live in Claremont. I did for a number of years, but over the last 4 years, I have not lived here. Yet, despite us not geographically living here, that's how much we believed in the community of Claremont and why we have done what we've done over the last 6 years. And so I know this is getting to be a long video. It's probably longer than I anticipated, but certainly a lot to be said. And just stay tuned. Feel free to reach out. Certainly, if you have questions, I'll answer what I can. But again, I'm not going to give speculative answers. I will share with what I know and go from there. But more details to come. So grateful. You guys are awesome. Continue to live that remix life, whether we're here or not. The message, the values that we represent, continue to live them. And we hope to see you soon. God bless you guys.